Yeah, damage control is... I knew I was going to be doing damage control today, but not that kind of damage control.
I don't even want the Champions Edition. I don't like the cover for the F1 game.
Yeah, me neither. It's not as bad as FIFA 21, but it's still quite bad.
And why is it why have we got Charles Leclerc on the front? Where's Max?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're all in the Champions Edition.
Yeah.
Where's the thingy? Commentary stream, there we go.
Oh, really?
Hi, Life Pal. Oh my god, what a save from Jacko. Did you see my save on lap 10?
I don't think so.
Man, I thought I was gone. It was turn 10, I think. Oh, it looks like we're getting going, so I'll shut up. I have not pre-ordered it yet, Life Belt, but I intend to.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I also intend to pre-order F1 Manager, because that looks amazing. Yeah, it looks like we're getting going for ESRL Sprint, round 3 of 6. We're going to be at Abu Dhabi and Bahrain today, which is going to be certainly interesting. Driver standings, we've got, let's see, why is... Oh, okay. Okay, so we've got Ayrton leading the championship, but only by 1 point after missing a race last week, with Rick in P2, just 1 point behind. Simps is in P3 on 61, and Woomax actually is P4, only 8 points off the championship lead. So, you know, Ayrton, if you want to miss maybe a couple more races, then we might have a championship fight on our hands. But yeah, for now, it's pretty damn close. And for some reason, people can't stop shouting all over the house.
Oh dear, yeah, it's looking very close. And with Ayrton here this evening, the wins for both races tonight are up for grabs for anybody. Sprint championships tend to be very, very unpredictable, so it's anyone's guess who's going to win this evening.
Absolutely. And we don't have qualifying, do we? It's straight to reverse grid of the current championship standings. So yeah, this is reverse grid all the way, and Lifebout has just switched to soft tyres. I just saw that from from the camera outside the pit lane. That was quite funny. The mediums just kind of teleported into soft tyres. Rick says he forgot his setup, so that's not ideal for the man in second place in this championship. Let's look at the full track map, get everything sorted out. Let's look at the tyres. So we've got Ayrton 2 in P1 today, Lifebout in P2. It's reverse of the championship order. And we've got almost everyone on medium tyres. Scott, Tia, Moti Pallets and Rick, interestingly, all on the softs. I guess Rick not only forgot his setup, but also forgot to change to mediums, because it's not like him to go on something that no one else is doing. But yeah, I don't know. Sumo, how do you think it's going to shake up between the softs and the mediums?
Yeah, I mean, this track is, I can't remember, I don't think the track tyre wear is too differential between everybody. I think those who have, It's a tough circuit, I think, as well. Abu Dhabi. There's that sector 3, very twisty and very tricky. I think the person with the setup that is able to not just be fast on those long straights, which are going to be the main overtaking opportunity, but if you can get a decent setup that gets you through sector 3 very quickly, then you can find yourself really in a good stead for the majority of this race. Yeah, most of the overtaking is, of course, going to be done in sectors 1 and 2, but you can definitely get some decent work done if you've got the setup to do so. So I think, I know the softs might have an advantage if they can get away early, but I think it's all going to come down to who's going to get better on the track, I think.
Absolutely. It's certainly going to give the guys a better start, particularly those in 3, 4 and 5, Scott here and Mosi Pellets. They're going to have the advantage off the line, and they're going to have a big advantage as well towards the latter part of Sector 1 and into Sector 2. Those tight corners there, they're going to have a big advantage, and we might see some moves into the hairpin where Max Verstappen, of course, made his move on the last lap of this Grand Prix last season in real F1. But it looks like we're about to get underway. Everyone's lining up on the grid. 14 laps of the Yas Marina circuit. Here we go. For some reason, it said lap 2 for a second there. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's a good start from Lifebout in P2. He gets up the inside and he takes the lead. Scott tries to go all the way around the outside of Ayrton 2 as well. But it's a poor start for the Williams, and he's under pressure from Tia now as well as they come through. But Tia's gone. Oh no! 2 cars have gone there at turn 3. And that's going to be carnage there because Ghosting is off in ESRL. But it is Lifebout who leads, and we've got Avi getting up into P4, Amir trying to go all the way around the outside of Simps, and Simps is lagging all over the place. Contacted between the 2 Red Bulls as well. Simps goes for a little spin and loses the place to Amir, which I'm sure Amir is absolutely delighted about given all that lag. Womax is side by side with H. Geno as they come down to the next corner.
Yeah, very scrappy start from Sam as Simps goes diving down the inside of Amir. Into that hairpin that leads into this chicane. Well, I guess it's a mix of 2, I don't know, it's a weird chicane, but Avi is fighting back at the Ferrari, but I think the Ferrari's got the measure of the Red Bull car for the moment, as the other Red Bull of Ferrari of Rick is trying to gain some places, lots of contact between the lot, and I think Rick's got up ahead of Womax, but Womax is going to be going around the outside. That's very tight between the 2.
Scott's out. And Rick is under pressure from Nath Clark just behind as well, who tried to make the move. That was H. Geno that Rick was battling with through the chicane. But the man in the Williams holds on to it, and Rick needs to make more progress on these softs, but I think he has damage. But judging by that, Lifebout's out of the session at the second to last corner. Very easy place to drop it, especially on the first lap, and we do have a safety car, which is perfect for the guys on the mediums, I believe. I think the softs can make it. So
he just managed to dive in.
Yeah, he just about got in. I don't know if there was a pit lane encroachment, but I'm sure they'll see in the steward to him. Avi's gone onto the hards though, so he doesn't think the softs can make it, and he's also had to have a change of front wing. X-Dream, who I haven't seen before, I don't know if he was here last week, I can't remember though. He has also gone onto the hards. Rick has gone on the mediums, so it seems like those on the softs do not think that those on the mediums do not think the softs will go the whole way. Tia is also out of the session. So 3 cars out in 1 lap, Sumo.
Yeah, that is a shame for those guys. They were, especially Tia, Scott, and Lifebound, they were all towards the top of this race, and Lifebound leading. He had a great start, but yeah, dropping it on that final corner. There's a lot of corners you can drop it around here. It's such a difficult circuit to get your head round when it comes to racing. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the changes. The change variant of it in next year's game, which is just around the corner now. Yeah, very it's easy to drop it in that final corner, and indeed turn one where we saw Tier and I think it was Multiplex go for a little spin.
Yeah, we did. So yeah, you mentioned the changes, Sumo, to coming to the circuit. Where Rick is now, he's just coming through the chicane. That chicane doesn't exist anymore. That's now a banked left-hander. So Extreme would be turning left here and keep going left, and he would go all the way around and would exit about where Avi is now onto this next section of the track. So that whole chicane slow corner complex is gone in the real life track. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it drives in game next year, or next game rather. Some of the mediums have gone into the soft, so they do think they will last the whole way. Wumax, H Geno, and Ayrton 2 have all stayed out. I don't know if that's a mistake. You've also got some other corners being reprofiled, and that chicane as well. That let's see, someone who's just coming up to it. So Simps coming up to this chicane. That doesn't exist. He would go straight on here, over towards the hairpin, if he didn't lag all over the place, of course. And then yeah, so more overtaking opportunities, and some of the corners have been reprofiled to be a bit wider too.
Extreme was here last week, according to Lifebout in the chat.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think either of us would have known, because I wasn't there. You wasn't there. I don't think last week.
I did watch Zach covered for us, which was nice of him. I did watch his stream, but my memory fails me.
I wonder why my seat was so sticky.
Yeah, there's Freddo wrappers everywhere. Just look in the drawer.
Really got to clean up after himself.
Yeah, he does. So I'm wondering when these top three are going to decide to come into the pits. Those softs, I feel like it will definitely go the whole way. The softs last for a fair little while around here. They will be a little bit off by the end, but they won't be too bad. I mean, my go-to strategy around here is a soft medium. In a 50% race anyways. Extreme has got himself a 3-second time penalty under the safety car, which is not what you want to see. Lifebout is asking himself why he's always binning it when he's leading in this league. Well mate, if you knew the answer to that, you would not be binning it. And Extreme has retired. It looks like he has also binned it under the safety car, which is very odd, but the safety car is now in, so we are racing again. It didn't look like it just because of the yellow flag staying out because of Extreme's crash, but everyone is off again. Amir is under huge pressure from Nath Clark just behind the Alfa Romeo, trying to find a way through as they come through to the chicane. Is he going to go for a dive down the inside? Yes, he is. Tries to brake late, but there's a spinner. That's H. Geno in the Williams. Goes all the way to the back. Nath Clark tries to find a way all the way around the outside of the hairpin, but no luck there. And Amir keeps the position for now, the Season 1 ESRL champion.
Simps all over the back, and Motzi Perez is looking for a way through. Womax doing the same to Ayrton 2 at the front, and Womax goes around the outside. Williams defends that outside line. They got a little bit of contact perhaps, and up the hill now. I think Womax has taken the lead away from Ayrton 2 as they come through that second chicane and onto the next DRS straight right now. Motzi Perez has lost out to Simps as well.
What a fantastic move that was from Wumax as Amir tries to go all the way around the outside of Moti Perez. He's made the move. Moti Perez, you're losing another position. That's Nath Clark, and that's Wumax has gone for a spin just as I was singing his praises. I'm so sorry. Commentator's curse has struck again. Moti Perez has gone for a spin. Everyone's losing it here in Abu Dhabi in ESRL. It looks like it's only the top 5. And also, Ayrton, the championship leader, isn't here, I've just noticed. So this is a big battle for the championship between Rick, Simps, possibly Wumax if he can get back into the race. Nath Clark down the inside of Amir into the penultimate corner. What a move that is, and down the inside of Simps as well. 2 cars in 2 corners for the Alfa Romeo.
Wow, that was incredibly brave through there. You don't see overtaking there every day. As Simps has lost a couple places now to Avi and Rick too, and Simps is getting all sorts of wrong out of the first corner there. perhaps some damage. I think he's got. It looks like he's missing his front left end plate. Oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah, he is.
Yeah, so he is. He is lagging all over the place, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was something to do with that. Rick goes very deep at the chicane. Is that going to give an opportunity to Avi, who's on the hard tyres and is really going to struggle for pace at this stage of the race? And in fact, throughout the whole race, I think he's going to struggle for pace in that Red Bull. Amir trying to find a way past Nath Clark, meanwhile, after being absolutely sold for one. On that penultimate corner in the previous lap. Ayrton 2 under huge pressure now as Nath Clark looks to take the lead of this race. He's not gonna have DRS yet because the safety car's only just come in, so the Alfa Romeo has to stick behind for now. We've got another yellow flag. That Simps has gone for a spin into the wall. That's lost his entire front wing, and he's definitely gonna have to come in now as Nath Clark is gonna make a move on Ayrton 2 perhaps.
Yeah, Nath Clark's going to have a lot of grip coming through this sector with no soft tyres. Really helps. It's so twisty here. It's all 90-degree corners, especially as you come under the hotel here and through into the last few corners. But I think Ayrton's doing a decent job. But let's see if Nath Clark will send one to the inside again. He won't, but he's trying to set the move up, perhaps down towards turn 1, looking for the better exit over the Williams. Doesn't quite get it. Amir sets the fastest lap of the race so far, as there's a yellow flag of Simps who's struggling in sector 3.
Certainly is. Rick has already dropped 2 seconds to the top 3, so this looks like what the battle for the lead is going to be, but Rick is still in position to take the championship lead as it stands, as Nath Clark is all over the back of that Williams, who's going to really struggle on this next straight. Nath Clark going all the way around the outside, but losing out on grip in the end. But here he comes now. He's going to have the DRS. Is he going to use the overtake button or wait for the next straight? I think that's what he's going to do. Amir is behind as well, so he's got to look both ways. But here comes the Alfa Romeo. He's not waiting at all as Ayrton 2 goes very deep. Brilliant late braking from the Williams, and there's contact, and Amir has gone for a spin, and he's lost out to Rick and his teammate. Amir down to P5, and Nath Clark is going to make it up into P1 again through round the outside of the Williams, and I think that move is now made. Yes, it is. Ayrton 2 unable to compete, and Rick is fighting with Avi as well. In the meantime, there's more contact as they come through the chicane. Rick trying his desperately to keep that position, but no cigar, and now he's under pressure from Amir as well.
Yeah, Amir looking to go right around the outside. It's hard to make a move stick in there, especially as it tightens up into that next corner. And then through here, it's almost impossible. It's doable, though, if you give room to the other driver. I think I made a great move around here in a sprint race once before, right around the outside of a couple of people coming under the hotel section. Just to toot my own horn there.
Nath Clark sets the fastest lap, unsurprisingly, and it looks like he's going to go to the end and win this race, it seems, because no one has an answer for his pace at the moment. Remember, Ayrton 2 is yet to pit, so Rick is currently in a podium position, but he wants to make it better, and he's made it into P3. Which is a net P2 because Ayrton 2 starts to pit, but no, it's a curse yet again. I really should keep my mouth shut. The Ferrari goes for a spin, and the Dutchman's hopes of taking the lead of this championship could have just evaporated because Womack is now ahead of him in P5.
That is a shame for Rick to drop it there as well. He must have just got a little bit too excited on the throttle on the exit of that corner.
Oh no! Contact between the Red Bulls. Sorry to interrupt you, Sumo. Avi got a terrible exit out of the corner, and Amir tried to do the switchback, but he just didn't have enough switch to go for the switchback. And went straight into the back of his teammate. That is a front end plate gone, and he could lose out to Womack here. By the way, Womack is still yet to pit, actually, so he is currently a net, possibly P7. But if he gets past Amir, they're both going to have to pit, and in fact Amir as well going to have to change his front wing. So Womack is going to make up a place there, and his hopes of leading the championship coming into the next race are not over yet. Nath Clark sets the fastest lap yet again as Amir struggles to make it round the final few corners to get in the pit lane.
Yeah, that wing damage really does hamper your progress, especially sector 3. You need all the downforce you can get through there as Rick reclaims P5, looking to salvage something from this race, but gets a 3-second time penalty for his troubles, which will not help him out in the slightest. Nath Clark just opening up that gap, stretching his legs, and everybody's just sort of stretched is sat in their own sort of race right now, and Amir's got some work to do if he wants to get a decent place at the end.
Yeah, he's just exiting the pit lane now on fresh soft tyres, but he's about 3.5 seconds behind Moti Perez. I have no doubt that he will get past the Alpine, but H. Geno further up the road could be more of a challenge for the Red Bull, and I think P7 is probably the best he's going to be able to do today. Simps gets himself a 3-second time penalty. His day is going from bad to worse. Nearly goes for a spin just as I ride on board with him. But it looks like all the gaps have opened up now. Womack is still yet to pit, so I'll keep an eye on the Bulgarian in the AlphaTauri and see when he decides the time is right.
Don't forget to like the stream, guys. I'm having a look. There's 1 like on the stream, and there are 7 people watching, so you guys know who you are. Ghost has just reached 100 subscribers, actually, so big congrats to Ghost. And I'm yet still 19 away, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I think you definitely deserve that 100 as well, Sumo. Doing a lot of commentary on your channel as well for APPF1. And some racing as well when you've got the time in the
Oh, that's a huge drop. Avi's just dropped it out of turn 2 and into the wall. That could be a safety car.
It is, and that is bad news for Rick, Nath Clark, the likes of them, because that's going to mean Womack and Ayrton 2 are going to come out of the pit lane in 4th and 5th. Where is H. Geno actually? It's going to be very close. H. Geno is just ahead of Womack. So that is an annoying one for the Bulgarian. Very, very close to being P4 there. And he's going to hope to keep it clean from now on. There's not many laps to go, only 5 or 6. Green flag racing is going to be around 4 laps, I would say. Simps is back up into P8, which is going to be P7 as soon as they pass the crash site, and that has also brought Amir back into this race, so he'll be very glad to see that second safety car.
Yeah, I think those hard tyres just didn't have the grip for what Avi wanted to do. You really send it through that second corner, and on that point where you transition from going left to right is where the grip and the traction tends to be lost the most. So Avi just lost the rear end and was a passenger for the rest of that as he careened to see barrier.
I've lost it on that corner myself. Actually, no, not that corner. Turn 3 rather. I've lost it several times before. That's another corner really easy because it's such a fast corner, but it's also the camber is coming away from you. So if you don't have the grip in the tyre, sometimes you can go lap after lap flat out through that corner and have no problems. But as soon as the tyres reach a threshold, which you won't be able to tell that they've reached, you will be going straight into the wall. So you've got to be so careful, and you've got to realise when the time is right to stop going flat out through that corner. Womack has got himself a 3-second time penalty, by the way, under the safety car. Rick has come in for fresh softs. It's going to be very close out of the pit lane between him and Womack, but he has made it ahead into P3. But yeah, time penalties, another one from Moti Perez as well. Guys, stop getting time penalties under the safety car. It's so unnecessary. Womack and Rick both on a penalty. Music to the ears of Amir, who is currently going to be in a net P3 after this race all looked lost. But I mean, wow, 6 DNFs in a sprint race around Abu Dhabi. That is quite something. Clearly a tricky track on elite settings.
Yeah, certainly so. It's tricky on the settings that most people run. You know, no traction, no ABS with corners and and the like on. I remember way back a few seasons ago. I think it was my last season in tier 1 racing. I don't think I'm fast enough for that anymore.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. It's been too long since I've raced. I've done so much commentary. The only time I get to race is on a Sunday evening, but even then we've not raced for a little while.
Yeah.
I remember being in a good place with MX. We were, I think, P2 and P3. Dropped it on my in-lap.
Oh.
And then I ended up toward the back, was recovering well, and then my internet dropped out, and then I joined back in, and I had no sound when I joined back in. I don't know why I had no sound, but yeah, all of my audio had gone, and it was very, very difficult to drive without any audio at all.
Yeah, I can imagine, blimey. Reminds me of that fateful Belgium race last season in Tier 1, which, another race that could easily have been the one that lost me that championship. I was comfortably fastest car, and then my internet decided to have a meltdown. Turned out that my LAN cable just wasn't connected properly. It had somehow come out of it. I joined back in. I disconnected after qualifying. Joined back in, and then it was the most bizarre experience that I've ever seen on this game. I was in the spectator menu, so I had the spectator camera, but I was driving the car. And the other problem was my upshift button on my wheel is the same as my change camera button when I'm in spectator mode. So every time I shifted up, I changed from being on board to going into the spectator cam. And it was so weird. But I had to disconnect and rejoin back again. Eventually finished, I think, 6th in the end, but I should have won the race. So yeah, this game can offer some quite bizarre glitches occasionally. We've got the safety car coming in this lap though.
Yeah, I was just riding on board Womax. I don't know how he missed that Red Bull, but Womax was weaving and weaving and weaving away, and Amir just had a little bit too much speed and ended up alongside him, and Womax only just missed him. I don't know how they didn't make contact there, but... Ooh.
It's good to hear. At least they managed to avoid each other. I recorded it as well, Lifebout. I can dig it out and show you if you want after this. But safety car is coming in. Nath Clark has got to decide when to punch it. Is he going to do it out of this corner? No, he's going to keep weaving, keep Ayrton 2 waiting as they come through the final corner. Is this where he's going to go for it? Yes, it is. Ayrton 2 sees it coming, but he's not close enough to make it up for it. Rick goes down the inside and tries to take advantage of Ayrton 2's poor getaway, and he's done it. The Ferrari into P2, but that penalty, of course, could end up costing him as he nearly goes for a spin at turn 2. Does the same as Avi the lap before the safety car came out. Womax now trying to go around the outside of Ayrton 2, and he looks like he's going to make the move, but it's contact as they come through. It's very difficult to stay on the inside with that curb, and Amir takes full advantage and is up into P4. Womax is losing positions by the second, and he's losing out to Rick as well. 1.5 seconds is already the gap to the Ferrari. It's going to be so many cars wide. It coming to this next corner, 3 wide as they come through into the braking zone. It's Simps tries to find a way through H. Geno at the same time. Ferrari has to back out. Womax nearly goes for a spin and loses out to the Williams. He's down to P6 already, and I think Simps is going to look for a move as well, but that lag could end up costing the Ferrari here. He decides not to go for it, but Womax has to go deep to avoid hitting the Williams in front, and he's down to P6, and not the greatest restart for the Bulgarian.
No, certainly not. That was very bizarre, that whole complex there. At the start of, in between the two DRS zones, as all the cars went in, including Simps, and then Simps disappeared and reappeared at the exit of the corner.
Oh my god. Oh, it's always tricky in the cockpit when you have no idea where a car is because of the lag. You just got to sometimes guess where they're going to be and hope you don't hit them. So it's always tricky, but hopefully Simps can get his internet sorted out for the next race. H. Geno just behind Amir, trying to see if he can find a way onto the podium today. Ayrton 2 is currently sitting in a podium position. There's 2 laps to go, and I believe this would be his first ever ESRL podium, if I'm not mistaken. So the Williams driver looking for a first here, but Amir is going to be looking to deny him. He's going to have DRS on the next lap, so I don't think a move is going to be made at the moment. But Ayrton 2 is going to struggle to hold on to this, I think. Coming into the final lap as Simps.
Inside, maybe? Ooh, it was close. He thought about it. He definitely thought about it coming down there. Chose to not make that move. Womack's not got a lot of battery left to fight that Ferrari with. The Ferrari is filling up the AlphaTauri's mirrors, looking to the outside, but not close enough on this occasion.
Big lock-up from the AlphaTauri as Simps goes very... Oh, no, he doesn't. He just lags into oblivion and then teleports back behind the AlphaTauri. So it's tricky as a commentator as well. Yeah, Simps looking to make it through, but let's have a look at the penalty situation. They're both on 3, so this is a legitimate race for P6, but Simps is all over the track. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up another penalty before the end of this race as we head on to the final lap.
Yeah, H. Geno went very wide at the second to last corner there. Saw him just off the track, rejoined nice and safely, of course, which is what we like to see. But yeah, we've lost about just under half of the grid. If we had one more driver, it would be exactly half. Unless you want to cut one of the cars in half. I guess Simps is in and out of this race. So.
Yeah, that counts. We've got a huge battle going on for the final spot on the podium, but Rick has slowed down, and that's going to mean Ayrton 2 will have DRS up this straight, and that's bad news for Amir. He thought he would have this done and dusted, but Rick has not been fast enough to get rid of these 3. Amir has to stay behind. Simps has gotten past Womack's further back, but we've got to keep an eye on this battle as Amir nearly makes contact with the Williams, and this is going to be the last chance for Ayrton 2 to keep his podium position. Neither of them have any ERS left. So is Amir going to go for the dive? He does go for the dive. Very late braking. What a move from the Red Bull. That was Daniel Ricciardo in this Red Bull-esque. And he has made it into P3. He's stolen that podium position from Ayrton 2 as H. Geno just about keeps the car on the track after a little mini spin. And Amir is going to take P2 today. But the podium is not yet over because of Rick's penalty. And Ayrton 2, as long as he stays within 3 seconds, is going to get P3 here. But Nath Clark comes across the line to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, sets the fastest lap as an extra flex on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Rick finishes P2 on track, but where's it going to be after penalties? It's P5! And the 2 Williams into P3 and 4. Ayrton 2 gets his first ever ESRL podium, I believe. I hope that's true.
Yeah, wow, that was a great race. It's a shame we lost so many of the drivers, because I think it would have been a bit more interesting if everybody was in that last sprint to the race. But here comes Nath Clark then taking the first win of this evening, lifting that trophy on up. I'm pretty sure he'll get told off about bringing the wheel with him. Yeah, it's a great first sprint race to start off this evening's racing.
Yeah, Nath Clark absolutely dominant. As soon as he got in front, that was game over, it seemed. So very well driven from the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, I think it's fair to say Rick didn't have a setup for this race. That is not a bad performance at all from the Dutchman. He will finish P5, but of course that time penalty means that he will still be thinking of what could have been, but I believe that means he will be leading the championship after this race. But yeah, it is Nath Clark who wins the race, with Amir in P2. What a recovery that was from the Red Bull. Ayrton 2, the Greek, gets his first ever ESRL podium, I think. H Geno in P4, Rick in P5, I think will take the championship lead. Simps in P6, Wumax down in P7, could have been better for him as well. And then DNFs from Moti Pellets, Avi, X-Dream, Tier, Lifebout, and Scott.
Well, if race one's anything to go by, we should be in for quite a race on the next circuit. Is it where are we going next?
We are going to Bahrain.
Bahrain. So 2 circuits in the Middle East then. Bit more racing, bit more of a racy track. Bahrain, more opportunities to overtake in various parts of the circuit. So expect to see a race filled with lots of action as we wait for the grid to be set.
Yeah, if anyone's still watching, don't go away. We have another race coming, another 25% race. We'll be in Bahrain, as we say. So more action to come for the drivers. And we'll be reverse grid again. Is it reverse grid of the championship results after that race, or is it of the championship results before this weekend? I'm not actually sure.
Maybe it's after the race? I don't know, it depends if they've got your fancy little system in operation over
Yeah,
there,
maybe.
I believe they do.
After us, Scott. Yeah, so just looking at the championship, I actually think Simps is going to take the lead of the championship here. Because if I just...
Oh, I think it's off the reversed race result, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that could be, it could be that.
Yeah, Lifebout and Rick are saying it's reverse grid of the race.
Okay, alright. So, 25 points to Simps for that race, and Rick finished P5, didn't he? So that's 15 points. So actually, the championship leader coming into this race at Bahrain is going to be Simps. I believe by... Let me do some quick maths here. So it'll be Simps followed by Rick. And there are 4 points between them, 10-point difference. So Simps will be leading the championship by 6 points coming into this race in Bahrain. Rick P2, and then Wumax a little bit further behind in P3.
Rick says Ghost Simps finished 6th, you pleb.
Simps finished 6th. Oh, I'm thinking of Nath Clark. Yep, I am I'll take that. I'm a pleb. So Rick is leading the championship by not many points though. If Simps finished P6, that means Rick will be leading by around, I think actually 6 points as well. So the other way round. I was nearly right.
Nearly right, yes.
Nearly there. It would be great if I could differentiate between different people.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, I'm going to use this break wisely and take a trip to the little boys' room.
So we've determined that Rick is leading the championship by an indeterminate number of points that no one seems to be able to agree on. But, that's okay. It doesn't matter at the moment. In the last race of the season, that's when it matters. Looks like we're getting going already, so quick setup from Scott. Yeah, 20 seconds until you get going in Bahrain, which is always a good track for racing. It's always a lot of overtakes, a lot of action at Bahrain. So looking forward to this, especially in a sprint race. I've had some amazing sprint races around this track. It's not actually a good track of mine. I'm not the best at it. Tend to be a little way off in qualifying. In APPF1 at least. But yeah, it seems like in APPF1 it seems like everyone else has improved massively, like the last couple of months. and I'm just like, where has all this pace come from everyone? Like, since when is MX consistently faster than me on pace alone? Like, on pure pace. It's totally fair. It's just, a strange one. But it sounds like Sumo's back, so welcome back, mate. Just
Yeah.
about to get going.
Bahrain Short next season F1. So I've had some of the best races on Bahrain Short. Hell, one of my best races on Bahrain Short. What a race that was.
Our little battle. That was,
Yes.
well, more than little.
Me versus you and AP. That was
that was
uphill
fantastic.
battle, that one.
That was brilliant. So, yeah, we are here in the Middle East yet again. So, not much travel distance for the teams, although they did only have around, 3 or 4 minutes to get from Abu Dhabi to Bahrain. So some very quick transport there. I think F1 is employing the light speed ship technology that they've recently pioneered. So yeah, good to see that it's working.
Yeah, certainly so. 8 seconds of waiting before we go in or for the formation lap. It'd be interesting to see the grid form out. Of course, those who didn't finish won't start towards the front. So it's Womack. It is Womack on pole position,
giving him a good opportunity to make some ground on this championship. If he can win this race, that would be huge for the Bulgarian in the context of the title. But Rick is the current leader by, I believe, 6 points from Simps. And then Womack's a few points behind that. But it's not too distant at all. Point system in ESRL is I believe everyone still gets points, but it's more spread out than in APPF1, because there we just have first place gets 20, second place gets 19, etc. But ESRL, we've got 25 for first, and then 20 for second, and then I think 18 for third. So everyone gets the points, but if you finish in those top positions, you're rewarded a lot more, much like real F1.
Yeah, certainly. Those about half the grid starting on the soft tyres, half on the mediums. Tyre wear is notoriously horrible at this circuit, and those soft tyres will not last more than 4 laps, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think they'll go a little bit longer than that, but yeah, what I like to do around this track on 50% is soft medium. It's really tough. You're going to end up with the 70% wear by the end, but yeah, if you can make it work, it's a very good strategy. But of course, this is 25%, and yeah, those softs, they're going to start to drop away, but I don't think it's going to be too much, although the medium soft is probably the optimum strategy, but we'll have to find out. Everyone's getting sorted on the grid, and the lights are about to come on. Here we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're underway for the Bahrain Grand Prix. A slow getaway for a lot of the cars on the grid, not reacting well to the lights, but Womack gets a really good start in the end. But Simps is going to go down the inside. Is he? No move from the Ferrari, and Womack stays in front. Simps lags all over the place, so that connection is still not fixed. H. Geno is up to P3 as Rick down to P4. Nath Clark has made up a position. Tier is up to P6. What a start for the Haas, as he tries to go around the outside of Amir and keep that position. He does a Lewis Hamilton line on the exit of turn 4, but he's made the move. Up to P6 he goes, but he's going to struggle to keep it, I think. And Amir straight back again as Simps has gone for a spin. There goes his championship hopes, for now at least. But as we saw last race, it can all change very quickly as Moti Peretz goes round the outside of Amir in the Red Bull. as the Alpine tries to get a better exit, but there's nothing for him as Amir keeps that position. Nath Clark and Rick side by side into the next corner. Turn 10 they're coming up to, and now round turn 11, the right-hander flat out through there, but you've got to be so careful not to drop it and turn too much. It looks like Rick has kept that podium position.
Yeah, I was riding on board with Amir on the start. He got a decent getaway, but then he was robbed at the first corner as Nath Clark lets to go round the outside of Rick. Not quite going to work as Rick holds the inside line and holds position for the moment, but that Alfa Romeo's got a lot of straight line speed, sat in the slipstream of the Ferrari, and pulls to the outside as Rick defends. But I think Nath Clark is going to get that done, unless Rick can be the last of the late breakers. Can he do it? He's challenging now, but I think Nath Clark has undercut it. Well, switched him back, and Tier is finding himself on the back of this battle now as well.
He has indeed, and Tier, as you say, is driving fantastically. Up to P5 he is, on the back of this battle for the podium. Wouldn't that be nice to see him on the podium, but I've probably just cursed him now. Extreme, by the way, went for a spin at the final corner as the top two. H. Geno into the lead he goes. Womack's unable to cover that move. Brilliant, opportunistic overtake from the Williams. But he's locked up into turn 7, very easy to do. Or sorry, turn 8. And Womack is going to have a run on him maybe, but no, he backs out, doesn't use the ERS and waits for the next opportunity. Nath Clark still 1.5 seconds behind, but that is closing fast.
It certainly is. Nath Clark has got a lot to do. He's on those medium tyres, but they're going to be in a better condition in a couple of laps' time than those softs will be. As I said to Tyler, it's very, very brutal round here. Avi is making a move on the Alpine of Monty Perez. They're going side by side down towards turn 14 and 15. The final couple of corners, and it's contact. Avi hits the back of Monty Perez, and Ayrton hits the back of Avi.
Monty Perez into the pits, in fact, very early. DRS is now enabled. No moves being made into turn 1 by the looks of it. We've got a lot of drivers in the pits. I think there was a lot of damage done there. That could have been a chain reaction, that contact at the final corner. A lot of drivers diving in. There's a front wing change for all of them. So yeah, damage sustained by 4 drivers on the opening lap.
Nice bout onto the softs. Those will not make it to the end of that race. Well, I mean, they probably will, but they're not going to feel very good. Certainly
not. Yeah, Tier, by the way, has got himself a 3-second penalty, unfortunately, so that's going to cost him at the end of this race, but he's still got really good pace in that Haas at the moment, staying on track with Rick for now, who is keeping with Nath Clark, not letting the Alfa Romeo have the advantage. Womack is already out of a second range of H. Geno though, and he's going to be vulnerable to the Alfa Romeo pretty soon. So Womack has got to look behind him to keep his P2 at the moment. The Alfa Romeo braking hard. You look at the line that everyone takes into that final corner, very wide on entry, and then come all the way into the apex, and you gain quite a bit of time actually if you get it perfectly right. Amir is on the back of Tier trying to make a move, but Tier's going to have the DRS as well, so it's going to be hard for the Red Bull. He has a little look, but no move being made, and they both brake very late for turn 1. Clearly Amir getting distracted by Tier's lockup, and he's still going to make the move stick. Tier has paid for that mistake at turn 1 and lost the position to Amir.
It certainly has. It's a nice little complex down there. It's a double DRS zone, I believe. So you won't. Oh no, it's not a double DRS zone. I'm mistaken. I can see all 3 detection zones now. But if you've got the DRS coming into turn on the run down to turn 4, and you get the better exit, you're really in for a good run down that straight. As it's a lot longer than it looks.
Absolutely. Thank goodness that it's not a double DRS zone, by the way, because we all know my thoughts on double DRS zones from Mexico. Yeah, Hungary, Mexico. But yeah, Nath Clark is well within a second of Womack, but H. Geno has lost out as well to the AlphaTauri. Womack putting on an extra burst of speed here this last lap, and he's going to have the DRS, so no chance for Nath Clark, although that ERS is looking very low on that AlphaTauria's Extreme. Goes for another spin in Sector 2.
Yeah, that's turn 11. He's lost it out there. It's fairly easy to do if you get on the curb. All the curbs in that section are very lethal, but that's going to bring Lifebout some hope of gaining a position, as himself, Moxie Perez and Ayrton all make their way around, and I think Dream might have some damage. He does. It's front right end plate.
It's a shame for him. His day going from bad to worse. A poor Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, DNF pretty early on, and now into the pits for a new front wing, and he's retired in the pit lane. Now I do not blame him at all, as who's that going down the inside into turn 1? It's Moti Peretz trying to make a move on Ayrton 2, but he's lost out massively. There's a safety car, actually. A safety car. What has caused that?
I think somehow Dream.
Yeah, I thought he retired in the pit lane.
That's what I thought too. I don't know, maybe he crashed.
Maybe he crashed, yeah, or maybe a glitch. I've no idea. But either way, it has caused a safety car. I'm sure the ESRL admins will be looking at that one. Yeah, it's great news for the soft runners. They can get onto some fresh mediums, but medium runners are going to have to take the softs all the way to the end from here now, which I think they can do. I don't think it will be too tricky. But they'll certainly be having difficulties towards the end of the race. It would be helpful if people didn't send me notifications in the middle of my commentary as well.
Yeah.
Or rather, invites.
Nice car comes with soft tyres. In amongst this pack here, I mean, the safety car will probably be out for at least 2 laps, because I'd imagine Lifebout and Ayrton will want to come in for some medium tyres. So leave us with 6 laps of racing. So those softs might just give a slight advantage to the action.
Good news for Moti Peretz as well. He can make up a position on Lifebout. I wonder what tyres they're going to come in on. Lifebout onto the softs. Ayrton 2 onto... I can't see until he gets in this pit box. It looks like a set of the softs. It is. So, and Scott also onto the soft. So they're very confident those softs will make it. I think that's reasonable. I think they will make it. Maybe struggling the last couple of laps, maybe the last lap, which could make things very interesting. But yeah, I think that's the good call. But of course, Jenner, Wumax, Rick, and Tia all having to go to the mediums, having started on the soft tyres. So yeah, they'll struggle to keep the soft tyres behind. Certainly, as soon as the safety car comes in.
Yeah, I'd have gone with the safer bet. Honestly, I think my strategy in a 50% race here, if I can get a good qualifying lap on mediums, I will do medium hard. It's the safest strategy, and the hard tyres are actually a really decent tyre for this circuit.
Yeah, they're not too bad at all. Yeah, I think the safety car, yeah, there's still a few cars catching up, so we'll be out for another lap. Let's have a little bit of a helmet perusal, so we can get rid of the telemetry. So we've got Jenner, that's quite a nice one.
Very QR code looking on the top there.
Yeah, but a nice nice colour combo. I wonder what that QR code goes to. Maybe a Rickroll. Wumax has got Bulgarian colours on his helmet. I like that a lot. Nice patriotic white, green and red helmet in the right order as well. White on the top, then green and then red. Very nice indeed. Nath Clark. Oh, that's a cool looking helmet for Nath Clark. A bit of black and white and some neon purple in there as well. I do like that. Rick has gone for the gold and black helmet with a bit of red as well, it looks like. and you can take us through the next three soon.
Yeah, we got him there. It's looking like it's sort of similar to Carlos Sainz's helmet, perhaps a nice light grey,
Yeah.
bit of gold, bit of red on there. Looks quite nice from the Red Bull. Tier's got a bright orange helmet on the looks of it. I think it's just orange.
Yeah.
There's a bit of black at the back as well.
It looks like from this angle, it looks like a cap. Like you've got the black on the top, and then the red is like the brim of the cap.
Yeah, and a little bit of blue there, perhaps as well, on the like sort of details. Avi's got I think that's one of the like helmets you can't change. One of the custom helmets. It's sort of black with a bit of red. One of them look like robot-y kind of looking designs. Simps just behind it. Nice green helmet with this black, white, and yellow detailings on it. Very reminiscent of a Jamaican flag, perhaps. Monty Perez. I think that's the Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh yeah, you might be
design.
right. Yeah.
Or perhaps Lando Norris. I can't quite remember. It's one of the helmet designs from one of the actual F1 drivers. Lifebout with a very nice sort of camo, like sort of techno camo looking helmet with white, black, and a bit of the sort of almost Mercedes colour green.
Oh, H-Geno's gone. Sorry to interrupt you, Sumo. He's gone already. Coming into the last corner, he's caught Womack sleeping there. Already 8/10 gap for the Williams. Brilliant restart for him as they come down to turn 1. Sorry to Ayrton 2 and Scott that we couldn't get down to your helmets in the end, but Nath Clark, is he going to go for the move down the inside into turn 1? No, he decides against it, so we'll move to the back. Amir and Tier and the Ferrari of Simps 3 wide into turn 1, and Simps has lost out there. He tried to go down the inside but has had to go on the curb. He's lagging all over the place. I have no idea where that car is. I don't think Avi knows where he is either, so Avi has to back out of that one. Womax loses out to Nath Clark meanwhile at turn 4, so maybe a mistake from the AlphaTauri. There's going to be 6.5 laps more of racing, and it looks like we're going to get a lot more action to come.
Ooh, that was very close. Avi almost into the back of the Haas as Simps in that Ferrari goes very deep, or does he, as he teleports back onto the circuit in front of Monty Perez. It's so hard to tell where that car actually is. And it's even worse when you're a driver. It's so scary. It's sat behind a car that's lagging in front of you. But Nath Clark closing up that gap very quickly. Those soft tyres just reeling in H-Geno in the Williams toward the front, and I'm sure the pass is on. Maybe even coming down to the final corner.
Yeah, maybe so. Here he comes.
Has a look.
Ooh, not quite able to make the move. Avi has gotten past Tier further back for P6, making a Red Bull 5-6 at the moment, but Nath Clark all over the back of that Williams. He's going to make the move into turn 1, sets the fastest lap as well. He's looking to make it 2 wins out of 2. 50 points it would be for the Alfa Romeo. Scott has retired from the session. Where is that? That's the final corner. Is that a safety car? It doesn't look like it. Looks like we're okay. So a shame for the McLaren, but everyone else able to keep on racing. H-Geno trying to make a move back on the Alfa Romeo, but no such luck for him. Those medium tyres really losing out to those softs at the moment.
Yeah, certainly are. Simps has got past Tier. That must have been a scary interaction between the two of them. As it went on, H-Geno staying with Nath Clark, who he might just have an advantage on in the closing couple of laps if he can stay with that Alfa Romeo. But look at the pace he's got, the grip on that soft tyre on the exit of turn 10 was just incredible, and was able to just see him through. But H-Geno's sticking with him for now. He's definitely still got some pace in that Williams car despite the tyre disadvantage.
Certainly does. Yeah, this would be 52 points for Nath Clark, a maximum point day for him. That would be fantastic, but he has so far not scored any points. I don't think he's been in the sprints until now, so yeah, unfortunate for him. He could have been in the championship fight as Rick nearly goes straight into the back of Womax and then has a huge moment on the exit of the final corner. That's going to allow Amir to get past on those soft tyres, and Rick down to P5. He's going to try and size up the move on the Red Bull, but no such luck for him. But he does make it, actually, goes down the inside, tries to make the move, but I think a little too opportunistic from the Dutchman there, although he is going to have perhaps an opportunity into turn 4, unless Amir is close enough to Womack. He isn't, so here comes the Ferrari down the inside. Oh, that's very risky. Amir just leaves him enough room, but not enough room for Rick to be able to make a move. Very clean and fair driving from Amir there.
Yeah, that was incredibly tight between the two of them. It's a good overtaking opportunity into turn 4, and you could really go side by side for the majority of this track as Avi tries to go around the outside of turns 9 and 10. Manages to stick it there. Rick leaves him the space. That was a brilliant move, and he gets the job done and chases after his teammate now as Rick looks to come back at him.
Avi using the grip he's got on those soft tyres to go all the way around the outside, get the better exit. And fantastic move from the Red Bull into P5, and Amir is looking to get past Womack as well. The AlphaTauri, the next victim. Womack needs to keep this position if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive, because as many points as he can gain on those Ferraris, the better. He hits the curb though on the final corner, loses out a little bit, but Amir's going to have the DRS. Womack nearly goes into the pits, trying to weave and break the slipstream on that Red Bull. They're going to come down to turn 1. It's going to be three wide. Both Red Bulls trying to get past Womack, and Rick trying to get past as well. They're all entangled in this battle, and Womack loses 3 positions in 1 corner. That must be devastating, and it's 4 positions for Womack. Oh, what a shame for him. Just at the wrong place at the wrong time, not having that DRS there. And from 3rd to 7th in just 3 corners.
Oh, there's been a bit of contact there between Lifeboat and Ayrton 2 there. Out of turn 4, they were both off circuit together. Not exactly sure what happened. Perhaps they got caught on one another. But I think H. Jenner might have had a bit of a moment coming out of turn 10 there. Maybe, he looked like on the track map, but he's staying with Nath Clark, and he might reel him in towards the end there. There's still
2 Ferraris have made contact and they're out. Sims is out of the race. They made contact on the straight, and Rick has somehow managed to keep that car on the track. How has he managed that? He looked like he was going straight into the wall. Sorry to interrupt you, Sumo, but it looked like Sims just turned into his teammate on the straight, and he's paid for it. He's now out of the race, and Rick somehow has not gone into the wall. He was sideways. How is that car still on track, and how is it ahead of Womack?
I don't know, it's something about these Dutchmen. Something sus, you know. But I don't think that was intentional from Sims. It's most likely the lag that caused that crash.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that was a moment of madness for a moment, and I'm sure that virtual safety car will be coming in as well. We all know I hate the virtual safety car ever so much in this game. It's so useless.
Well, we do have one now. We've got 3 laps to go. Green flags are out again. H. Geno is right behind Nath Clark. So I think you might have been right with that strategy call, Sumo. Those mediums look like they're coming into their own now. As H. Geno looks to win this race. FIL Moti Pellets gets past Lifebout further back. Through turn 4, Lifebout's going to look to get back, nearly goes for a spin, trying to get the better exit, but manages to keep it on the track, and nearly goes again at the hairpin. Lifebout really fighting that car now in these closing laps, as Avi tries to make the move on his teammate now, coming into the next corner. He's not going to make the move, he's going to wait until turn 1, which would be a better opportunity. Womack and Rick, this is a proper championship defining battle between these two. I believe after this race, with Simps crashing, these two are going to be the top 2 in the sprint championship. So every point is going to be crucial as they fight now for P5.
Yeah, certainly so. Womack has the advantage. The DRS is incredibly strong around here, and he's going to have it coming down the main straight now. Rick got a poor exit. He was all over the curb, very wide, and Womack's already past that Ferrari, who's going to get the DRS again, and Lifebout's lost it at the final corner and has wing damage to boot as well. So he's going to be peeling into the pit lane. Possible retirement perhaps to the Mercedes, but just chuck on a set of tyres and finish the race is what I say. There's only 1 lap or 2.
Absolutely, Rick trying to go around the outside of the AlphaTauri at turn 4, but there's no opportunity to do so, not enough grip to make that work, as Avi and Amir have, I believe, swapped places. I think that was Amir getting past on the run to turn 1. It was a simple move before the corner, but these two Red Bulls are going to fight for that podium all the way to the end. These two long-standing rivalry between them. They both fought for the Season 1 ESRL Championship, and it was Amir who won out in the end, and then they became teammates, and they have been in those Red Bulls ever since. But no love lost between them, clearly. Both still fighting for that podium. I'm sure they're going to want to close out a Red Bull 3-4, as H. Geno has got himself a time penalty.
That's really going to hamper him. He could have tried to reel in Nath Clark, but that's going to put that to bed once and for all. So the race now is looking at P3 at the moment between these two Red Bulls. These two bitter rivals, now teammates. It's much like Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel in those two Red Bulls there. I'm expecting to see one of them go flying very soon.
Another penalty for H. Geno. That's 6 seconds. And look at the gap between him and the Red Bulls. It's about 6 seconds. So as the two Red Bulls fight, they might be hampering each other here, because if they just stay behind each other and just get to the end, they're going to have perhaps a double podium on the cards, because H. Geno is slowing down. He nearly went into the back of Nath Clark. He locked up into turn 1, and I think he just about avoided the Alfa Romeo, but got himself an extra penalty. No, he didn't avoid damage. He's definitely got some damage to that Williams. He really went very deep into turn 7. I think that's turn 7, maybe turn 8. But maybe it was just a mistake, but it looked like he had damage there, as the two Red Bulls are going to fight again. Boys, it could be a double podium. You've got to just keep it clean as they come through now. Nath Clark coming up to the last corner. He's been imperious today. A double race victory for him, it looks like. But we've got to keep an eye on these Red Bulls. Rick has dropped back from Womack, so that's the only battle on track is for that podium position. Nath Clark comes across the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix and make it a maximum points outing. H. Geno P2 on track, but where are the Red Bulls going to be? I think Amir's going to get P2, but Avi P4. No! 3 thousandths of a second! Oh my word! Double podium for the Red Bulls by the finest of margins. Womack finishes P5, does beat Rick, who's got no front wing as he crosses the line, but it is P6 for him. And Tier P8 in the end. Moti Peretz P7, just getting it to the end. Ayrton 2 coming across the line, and Lifebout will be last.
Wow, that was incredibly tight for those two places on the podium there. It's a shame for H. Geno. He was running a really good race until those final couple of laps where those penalties came in. Scott is absolutely enthralled by this result of not finishing either race, and the 3,000 gap between H. Geno and I think it was Amir. Or maybe it was Avi. It was
Avi, I believe, but yeah.
Triple warning at the end.
Oh, wow. 0.003. I mean, even if you did get a triple warning, congrats on the podium if that is true. But, I mean, you provided a fantastic commentary moment, so it was worth it. But yeah, do make sure to get your race director. Yeah, wow, what a finish to this race. 3 thousandths of a second to decide the podium.
Fastest lap after all.
Oh, Lifebout's trademark. Finish last but get fastest lap. Although he did race very well today in APP F1. Nath Clark takes the race victory. So it won't be quite maximum points after Lifebout stole the extra fastest lap point at the end, but still 51 points for the Alfa Romeo is a fantastic outing. Amir and Avi make up the podium, a double podium for Red Bull, but H. Geno could get that P2 restored after the stewards meeting. Womack's in P5, beating Rick's beating Rick to that position, so closes in on that championship lead. Motipadets in P7, and then Tier, Ayrton 2, Lifebout make up the rest of the finishers, with Simps, Scott and Extreme unable to finish this race.
Now another round of enthralling sprint race action. It's always good to have a little dive into ESRL and see what you guys over on Elite Settings are up to, you crazy, crazy people.
Yeah, always good to commentate on ESRL. Yeah, some fantastic action today. Obviously Abu Dhabi was a very tricky one, but Bahrain was certainly action-packed and not quite as DNF packed, thankfully. Yeah, fantastic outing for Nath Clark, double win for him, and always a pleasure to commentate. Any final thoughts, Sumo?
I was just thinking it's nice to see Tier finish a race for once. If he can get finish a race without a penalty one time, that would be awesome. But yeah, I do love coming in and seeing what you ESRL are up to. It's always a good time out on the racetrack if I can make it. But yeah, no, good racing, and I think we can, as long as Ayrton doesn't turn up for the last 3 rounds of the championship, we might have a championship battle on our hands.
Well, Ayrton's just lost quite a few points from not being here today, so you never know. He could come back for the last 3 rounds and we could have one heck of a championship battle. But yeah, it's been a good day out for ESRL. Rick takes the championship lead with Wumax in P2. Yeah, a long way to go. It may be 3 weeks, but it's 6 races thanks to the sprint format, so we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, I think we need to clean up this commentary box from these Freddo rappers. So
Yes.
I've been Ghost.
I've been Sumo.
And we will see you all next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.